Hello Booktube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing the Booktube Oldie Tag. So I haven't been tagged in this, but I thought it sounded like an interesting tag to do, and I haven't done a tag in a long time. This was created originally by Monica Kim, whose channel I absolutely adore. I will link down below the original tag for you to go and check out, and obviously if you don't subscribe to her you should, but I'm sure all of you know who she is and have subscribed already. So the tag comes with a number of questions, so let's dive in. Question number 1 is, how long have you been on Booktube? I had to go back and check this because I think after a certain amount of time things just sort of mulled into one and it just feels like forever. So apparently I uploaded my first video on the 7th of September 2014. So I've been on Booktube 5 years at the moment, nearly 6 years, which feels amazing. In my real life I get quite obsessed with different things. Books have always been a steady in my life, but there's other hobbies that sort of come and go, and I get obsessed with them for a few months or a little while and then they sort of drop off, and there's not been many things in my life sort of hobby wise that have really stuck, but Booktube is one of those things. Booktube, and it is a hobby for me. I don't treat it like a job. It is just something that I do to connect with people, and yeah, it's lasted this long and I can't see myself wanting to stop anytime soon. I just really enjoy hearing other people talk about books, discussing books with people. I've made lots of friends, some friends that I now see in real life, which is great. It's a bit frustrating because I think there would be, there's lots of people in America that I would like to sort of forge better friendships with, but sometimes it's hard to sort of do that unless you can sort of meet in real life, and I can't get to all the sort of conventions and stuff. So yeah, it's been nearly 6 years, but 5 years at the moment, and it's been a really joyous thing in my life, and it's been a steady and a constant and something that's meant a lot to me. If you haven't known of my channel from the beginning, the reason I started the channel was because I just had Matilda, and Matilda wasn't very well when she was born. She was in hospital for quite a while. She had severe reflux. She was very underweight. I had preeclampsia and all sorts of various different complications, and so for a long time I was stuck at home. I was quite nervous about leaving the house with her because she was so tiny. She only weighed 4.7 pounds. She was ridiculously small. I'll see if I can put a picture up of her for you to see. And so I wanted desperately to talk to people and talk to people about books, and I went to a few book clubs, and I was quite active with the job that I worked at before having Matilda, which was more of an office-based job, and I was much more involved in sort of books and socialising with people there, and I just missed that side of it, and Booktube really gave me what I was looking for and really helped me to connect. And for quite a long time, actually, I think a good 6 months, I just watched Booktube, and then I just decided that in order to make more meaningful relationships and talk to people more about books, having a channel would help do that, because and I know myself that you can make relationships with people via the comments, but it's often really nice to have a face for that person, or so that you know that they're a real person, and you know that they are who they say they are, and I know that many of my subscribers aren't, you know, weird trolls, but it's often nice to have a face, and I wanted to forge better relationships with people and talk to people more and share my thoughts a bit more as well, so I sort of dove into it through that. So the next question is, what is your biggest was your biggest misconception about Booktube? I think, like most people that started quite a long time ago, the biggest thing that I thought of was that it was just YA books that were talked about. It was quite young girls, and I thought that I would be too old. I was 30 at the time, and I thought that I would probably be, I wasn't 30, I was probably 31, or maybe 32? I don't know, but I was in my 30s, and I thought that I was too old and that people wouldn't watch me because the booktubers that were around were much younger. I also had absolutely no idea how to edit videos, or I didn't have a camera. I was using my phone or my iPad, and I thought I didn't have the technical know-how. People wouldn't want to watch because my videos would be really grainy, which they were, and and that it just yeah, I just thought you had to have all the whizzy equipment, you had to be amazing at editing, and I thought that the community wouldn't be very welcoming of someone that was older and that read different books to YA. I mean, I love YA and I read a lot of YA, more so now probably because of Booktube, but I'm one of those people that doesn't really fit into a niche. You know, you've got your like romance booktubers, and you've got your thriller booktubers, and your horror booktubers, and your YA booktubers, and your fantasy booktubers, and I like everything. I think really the only things that I'm not so into are horror, and I will occasionally dabble in that, but I'm a big scaredy cat, you know. So horror is definitely not really my favourite, and literary fiction on occasion, but it has to be the right book. So I was a bit worried that I wouldn't really fit in anywhere, and I'm glad to say that was a bit of a misconception. In some ways I still don't fit in, but I feel like there's much more booktubers now that have an array of interests and read from an array of genres, so we're kind of a group on our own, you know, the randoms, but I think I found that people are just happy and welcoming and interested in talking about books, and there wasn't that, yeah, there wasn't so much of the barrier that I thought there was. So the next question is, how has Booktube changed since you started? Well, obviously the question is, a lot of people answer this in a similar way. There are way more booktubers on here than when I started. There was really sort of the core big booktubers, and then there was a few, and in the UK we had maybe a group of 20 booktubers, some of whom are still going, some of whom are not. And so it's grown, I mean, it's literally exploded, and I just think that's a brilliant thing. There's so many more people to discover and find, and I think I commented on someone's video recently, something that over the last maybe 6 months I feel is that I have become very lazy. I have my, you know, my people that I talk to on my channel, there's the people that I'm friendly with, and I haven't really branched out. I haven't been seeking out new people to watch. I haven't been looking for new people. I haven't been commenting on many people's videos, and although I watch a lot of Booktube, I tend to show that I'm there by clicking the like button, and I haven't really been engaging those conversations, which is why I started with Booktube in the first place, and I feel really bad about that, and I definitely feel like that's something that I want to rectify, because you know, the whole reason I started this was to have conversations and to chat to people, and I think it's quite rude really to go and watch someone's video and not comment if there's something you want to talk about. And often there's things on there that I think to myself, oh, you know, that's really interesting, and why am I not commenting and starting those conversations? So that's definitely something that I'm working on with myself. And so I think this explosion, although I saw it happen, after a while it got quite overwhelming, and I just stopped sort of branching out. And there was a time, I don't know if it was about a year or two ago, where everyone was going through this sort of culling phase of who they watched, and if you didn't watch them very often, then you sort of unsubscribed, and I feel like now that was a shame, because there are some people that I wish I'd stayed subscribed to that that have sort of gone and come back, or their channels have evolved like a lot of people's have. And so recently I have been going through and just searching for more people. Other ways that it's changed, I definitely, although I'm on YouTube and I have a Twitter and an Instagram, I don't do Facebook. I don't know why, just don't do Facebook. My Instagram isn't great, but I post on there occasionally. And I think if you've ever seen my Twitter, you'll know that I am not a Twitter fan. The most posts that come up on my Twitter are, Eleanor gave this book this from Goodreads, which is like a standard thing that comes up. I don't know if it comes up with what videos I like on YouTube, but I really just hate Twitter. I find it a toxic and stressful and drama-filled place, and quite frankly, I'm not here for that. I don't want that drama in my life, so I tend to not see that more nasty side come out unless it comes out in videos. And in some ways I suppose that means that I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm okay with that. I don't want to be involved in petty arguments between people, and I don't want to be part of drama and things like that. And I do feel like in some ways there is some things that, you know, it's good to know. And if really big things explode, then I will go to Twitter and sort of find out what's going on. Sometimes I find out from other booktubers or friends, or sometimes videos are made and I find out like that. But yeah, that is definitely something that's changed. There is way more drama than there used to be. Or maybe there isn't, and maybe it's just because these platforms have got so big, it's more regularly now because there's more people, and that's just the way it is. But that's something that I'm not interested in getting involved in, really. The next question is, what is your favourite memory on Booktube? I don't know. I suppose memories for me are about things, people that I have met and that now mean a lot to me in real life. Tracy from Flamingo Reads, during lockdown, Tracy and I have spoken at least once a week and been playing board games together on a weekend, and that has meant so much to me, that friendship. Janet, who hasn't made videos for quite a while, she has a channel called Swirly Girly Reads. Janet, you need to make more videos. I hope you're still watching them. And Janet and I have met up in various places and doing things with people. I've been to book festivals, I've been on short breaks, and those friendships really mean a lot to me. And trusting people with your real life, and yeah, I think that those memories are I really do treasure. I treasure sharing a bit more of myself with people. But there isn't like one particular memory. I'm not really fussed about meeting authors in person and getting books signed. If you didn't know, I don't tend to keep my books unless they're 5-star reads, and even now it's got to be a real good 5-star read because I'm running out of space. So memories for me are the people and the experiences that I've had with them, really. The next question is the books that booktubers introduce you to. Well, really every book I read is a book that I have seen on someone's channel. I don't tend to root out books in any other way anymore. There is just no need. I have so many books on my to read shelf, and they all come from booktubers that I trust and that I feel like read similar books to me. Some of the books, I'm just looking on my shelves, so excuse me if I'm not looking in the camera. Some of the books that I have discovered through Booktube and loved. Okay. The manga series Orange, it wasn't one that I had ever heard of. I'm not really a big manga reader, but I really enjoyed that. Lucy Knisley's graphic novels, all of those. I love Lucy Knisley. What else is there? Especially a lot of non-fiction I find at Olive's channel, from a book Olive. That she is amazing, and she does this non-fiction November, and I find loads of non-fiction recommendations through her that I have loved, especially nature ones. In more recent years there's been a lot of nature ones that I have discovered. There's a book that I absolutely love, which is a YA contemporary called Paper Butterflies, by Lisa Heathfield. I just loved that book when I read it, and it was a proper tearjerker, but that is one that I've discovered through Booktube. The next question is, what frustrates you about Booktube? I think I've sort of touched on some things that frustrate me. I'm not into sort of the dramas and the petty arguments. I mean, sometimes there's drama and then there's drama, isn't there? There's sort of drama and then there's like drama, and sometimes I think it's necessary in order to sort of force change, and sometimes I'm just not interested, so I tend to let that play out from the sidelines. That frustrates me a little bit. There's not really anything that frustrates me massively, I don't think. No, apart from the things that I've said. And the last question, what is your hope for the future? My hope for the future of my channel is that I can start being a bit more creative, that I start to forge new friendships, especially given everything that's been going on in the world at the moment, COVID and Black Lives Matter. I just feel like my hopes for the future are that I can diversify my reading. I'm making a pledge here and now that not just now because it is the in thing, and that everybody is sort of becoming more conscious of reading books by people of colour, especially black authors, and also raising up and giving the recognition to all the black booktubers out there that haven't been pushed and pushed forward onto people and haven't had the same opportunities. I really feel like in the future that's something that I want to make sure that I do. I want to make sure that I'm forging new friendships. I'm not just going to go and subscribe to people for the sake of it. I like to watch some videos by them first and check that they actually read books that I'm interested in. But I want to make more of a conscious effort, I think, in the future to root people out, to search out people, again, to comment and forge new friendships, and to make sure that there is a book by a person of colour always on my TBR for every month, at least one. And I think I really need to make more of a conscious effort to make sure that my TBRs are including a more diverse array of characters and authors. So that's definitely something for the future of my channel. I'd like to get back more into doing more interesting videos. I just lost my mojo, I think, for a bit, and things get on top of you and things happen. At the moment, I'm stuck, logged in, but I'm still working from home and I'm making video lessons for students, which is interesting. And yeah, so I think when things move back to normal, I'd like to start thinking about making more videos that maybe are a bit different to just wrap-ups and hauls. My hauls tend to get the most views, but I don't know if that's just because I do quite a few hauls, or whether it's because people aren't interested in what I'm saying about books anymore. I'd like to look at that a bit more and think about my thoughts on the books a bit more and try and make those reviews better, because my most watched video is my review of The Count of Monte Cristo, and that's a book that people tend to read. That's a book that people are going to read at school and people are going to read as they get older, and it's one of those sort of classics that's timeless. And so I think I'd like to make a few more review videos and just take my time and think about the books a bit more. So that's something for the future. So yeah, there you go. But that is it from me. I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you are an oldie, then feel free to make this, and I look forward to seeing some more Booktube oldies doing this tag. Okay, that's it from me. Bye for now, Booktube.